1. Pelé and the Nigerian Civil War ceasefire, a football miracle amidst war. It was the late 1960s, and Nigeria was a country torn apart by one of the bloodiest civil wars in African history, the Biafran War. The conflict had been raging since 1967, devastating cities, villages, and families. The air was thick with fear, scarcity, and the constant echo of gunfire. Despite the chaos, the love for football remained unbroken. The people yearned for hope, for joy, for a moment of escape from the harsh reality surrounding them. And that moment came in the most unexpected way. In 1969, Pelé, already hailed worldwide as Ore, the King, the greatest footballer of his generation, agreed to bring his Santos team on a tour to Nigeria. It was a bold move, considering the war raging across the country. But for many Nigerians, Pelé represented more than just a player, he was a symbol of unity and joy. As news spread about Santos' arrival, something extraordinary happened. Leaders on both sides of the conflict agreed to a temporary ceasefire to allow the matches to take place safely. For 48 hours, the guns fell silent, and soldiers from opposing factions came together to witness a game. The stadiums in Lagos and Enugu were packed with thousands of fans, many of whom had never seen a football match live before. Pelé's artistry on the field was mesmerizing, his dribbles, his passes, and his goals brought smiles and cheers that echoed far beyond the stadium walls. One of the most unforgettable images was seeing soldiers in uniform sitting side by side, united by their shared love of football. Vendors sold food and drinks as if it was a festival rather than a war zone. Children waved flags, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary Pelé. Pelé himself was deeply moved. After one match, he reportedly said that football has the power to bring people together, even in the darkest times. When the tour ended, the fighting resumed. But for that brief window, football had woven a temporary but powerful thread of peace through a fractured nation. The story of Pelé's Nigerian tour remains a testament to the power of sport to transcend politics, conflict, and suffering. 2. Eric Cantona's Kung Fu Kick, football's most infamous moment. On a cold January evening in 1995, at Selhurst Park, Manchester United played Crystal Palace in a fiercely competitive Premier League match. Eric Cantona, a brilliant but volatile French forward, was closely marked by Crystal Palace's tough defender Richard Shaw. The match was full of intensity, physical battles, and mounting frustration. In the 48th minute, after Shaw's aggressive challenge, Cantona lost his temper and kicked Shaw's leg. The referee immediately showed him a straight red card. The crowd erupted with mixed reactions. Home fans cheered, away fans fell silent. As Cantona was walking toward the tunnel, a Crystal Palace supporter named Matthew Simmons began shouting insults from the stands. His taunts were deeply personal and offensive, attacking Cantona's family and nationality. Suddenly, Cantona stopped, looked directly at Simmons, then vaulted over the advertising boards surrounding the pitch. In a swift, martial arts-like motion, he launched a flying kung fu kick into Simmons's chest. The supporter was knocked backward, and Cantona followed with punches before stewards and police intervened to separate them. The shocking incident was broadcast live on television and quickly became headline news around the world. The Football Association reacted firmly. Cantona was banned from football for 9 months, fined £20,000, and ordered to complete community service. When asked to explain his actions, Cantona replied with a cryptic phrase that only added to his legend. "When the seagulls follow the trawler, it is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea." Though confusing to many, the phrase captured Cantona's enigmatic personality, a footballer whose genius was inseparable from his unpredictable passion and rebellious spirit. That night at Selhurst Park remains one of the most famous and controversial moments in football history, embodying the drama and intensity that make the sport unforgettable. 3. Diego Maradona's Hand of God, the goal that shook the world. It was June 22, 1986, at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, the quarter-final of the FIFA World Cup between Argentina and England. The political tension between the two countries was palpable, coming just 4 years after the Falklands War. But on this day, the world's eyes were fixed on the pitch, where two footballing giants were about to clash. Diego Maradona, Argentina's mercurial maestro, was already a global superstar by then. Known for his incredible skill, lightning speed, and fiery temperament, he carried the hopes of a nation on his shoulders. The stadium was packed with 115,000 fans, a sea of blue and white waving flags and chanting songs. The match was fiercely contested. England scored first, silencing the Argentine crowd, but Maradona was just warming up. In the 51st minute, he made his move. The ball bounced in the penalty area after a cross, and Maradona jumped to meet it. But instead of using his head, he raised his left hand and punched the ball into the net, an illegal handball that the referees missed. He immediately celebrated, waving to the crowd and calling it the hand of God. The English players protested fiercely, but the goal stood. Just minutes later, Maradona stunned the world with a second goal, an extraordinary solo run that saw him dribble past 5 English players over half the pitch before slotting the ball into the net. It was soon hailed as the goal of the century. Argentina went on to win the match 2-1 and eventually lifted the World Cup trophy. The Hand of God goal remains one of the most controversial moments in football history, a perfect storm of skill, cunning, and the blurred lines between genius and cheating. Maradona's audacity and brilliance have immortalized him as one of the greatest players to ever grace the game. For Paulo Di Canio's compassionate catch, when sportsmanship shone bright. It was a Premier League match between West Ham United and Everton on September 17, 2000. Paulo Di Canio, the talented and passionate Italian forward playing for West Ham, was known for his skill on the ball, but also for his fiery temper and unpredictability. During the match, an intense moment unfolded that would forever define Di Canio's legacy, not for a goal or a foul, but for an act of pure sportsmanship. An Everton goalkeeper, Paul Gerrard, went up to claim a high ball and landed awkwardly, suffering a serious injury. The game stopped, and the stadium held its breath. The medics rushed in, and Gerrard was clearly in pain. In the next attacking move, West Ham won the ball and quickly pushed forward. Di Canio received a pass and found himself one-on-one with the Everton goalkeeper's replacement. Instead of shooting, Di Canio did something unexpected. He caught the ball in his hands and deliberately threw it out of play, signaling to the referee that his opponent was injured and needed treatment. This moment of fair play shocked the crowd. Di Canio's gesture was praised worldwide as an example of respect and integrity in a sport often marked by ruthless competition. West Ham's manager, Harry Redknapp, later said, "Paulo's action showed what football is really about: respect for your opponents and the spirit of the game." Di Canio's compassionate catch remains a powerful reminder that football is more than just winning, it's about honor, humanity, and fair play. 5. Zinedine Zidane's headbutt, the World Cup's most shocking finale. It was July 9, 2006, the final of the FIFA World Cup in Berlin, Germany. Two footballing powerhouses, France and Italy, met in a match watched by millions around the globe. The stakes were enormous, a chance to claim the sport's ultimate prize and etch their names in history forever. Zinedine Zidane, France's legendary playmaker and captain, was playing what would be his last professional match. The 34-year-old French maestro was revered worldwide for his elegance, vision, and skill, a player who had inspired generations. The atmosphere in the Olympia Stadium was electric, filled with tension, hope, and nerves. The match was a tense battle. Italy took the lead early through a controversial penalty, but France responded with a spectacular equalizer by Zidane himself, a delicate chip over the goalkeeper that electrified the crowd. Both teams fought fiercely, neither giving an inch. Then, in extra time, the game reached its most dramatic and unforgettable moment. Italian defender Marco Materazzi exchanged words with Zidane, harsh insults that no one would later forget. In response, Zidane suddenly turned and delivered a powerful headbutt directly to Materazzi's chest. The referee immediately showed Zidane a red card, sending off France's captain in the most shocking way possible. The stadium fell silent for a moment before erupting into chaos. Zidane walked off the pitch, his World Cup dreams shattered in an instant. France went on to lose the match in a penalty shootout. The incident sparked a global debate. Was Zidane's reaction understandable given the provocation? Did it tarnish his legacy or add to the complexity of his character? Zidane later revealed that Materazzi had insulted his family, provoking a deeply personal response. The headbutt remains one of the most dramatic moments in sports history, a mix of passion, pride, and human frailty. Despite the controversy, Zidane's career is remembered as one of brilliance and leadership. That headbutt, while a dark moment, humanized a football god and became part of the complex legends surrounding him. 6. The Miracle of Istanbul, Liverpool's unbelievable comeback in the 2005 Champions League final. May 25, 2005, the day football fans call one of the greatest matches ever played. The UEFA Champions League final took place at the Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul, Turkey. On one side stood AC Milan, the mighty Italian giants with a star-studded lineup including legends like Paolo Maldini, Andrea Pirlo, and Andriy Shevchenko. On the other stood Liverpool FC, the English underdogs who had fought their way to the final with grit and determination. From the first whistle, it was clear Milan had the upper hand. By halftime, the Italians were leading 3-0, seemingly cruising to victory. Paolo Maldini scored a goal within the first minute, shocking Liverpool and their fans. The atmosphere in the stadium was tense and heavy with despair for the English side. But the second half brought one of the most miraculous comebacks in sports history. Liverpool's captain, Steven Gerrard, inspired his team with a header goal in the 54th minute, igniting hope. Just 2 minutes later, Vladimir Smicer struck from outside the box to cut the deficit to 3-2. Then, in the 60th minute, Liverpool was awarded a penalty after a foul on Gerrard, which Xabi Alonso calmly converted, leveling the score at 3-3. The momentum had completely shifted. The stadium erupted as Liverpool fought with renewed energy and belief. The match went into extra time and eventually a penalty shootout. Liverpool's goalkeeper, Jerzy Dudek, became a hero by making incredible saves, including a now-famous double save from Andriy Shevchenko. Liverpool won the shootout 3-2, completing one of the most stunning turnarounds in football history. The Miracle of Istanbul became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the sheer unpredictability of the sport. Players embraced, fans wept with joy, and the football world watched in awe. That night proved that no lead is safe, no game is over until the final whistle, a lesson in courage and belief that transcends sport. 7. The invincible Arsenal, the unbeaten season that redefined English football. The 2003-2004 Premier League season is remembered as one of the most remarkable achievements in football history. Arsenal FC, managed by the legendary Arsene Wenger, embarked on a campaign that would earn them the nickname the Invincibles. Throughout the entire league season, Arsenal did not lose a single match, 26 wins and 12 draws out of 38 games. This was a feat not accomplished in the English top flight since the 19th century, and it captured the imagination of fans worldwide. The team was a blend of youth and experience, with iconic players like Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, and Robert Pires leading the charge. Their style was elegant and attacking, blending skillful passing with relentless work rate. Key moments included Thierry Henry's dazzling goals, Vieira's commanding presence in midfield, and the team's resilience in tough away matches. Every opponent seemed to find Arsenal's collective spirit and tactical brilliance difficult to overcome. Their unbeaten run became a symbol of excellence and consistency, inspiring future generations of footballers and fans alike. The Invincible season remains a gold standard, reminding us that with teamwork, belief, and discipline, even the impossible can be achieved. 8. Andrés Iniesta's World Cup final goal, Spain's moment of glory. July 11, 2010, Soccer City Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa, the final match of the FIFA World Cup between Spain and the Netherlands. Both teams were desperate to win their first ever World Cup title, and the match was a tense, physical battle. The game remained goalless through regular time, with both sides fighting fiercely. Then, in the 116th minute of extra time, Andrés Iniesta, Spain's gifted midfielder, received a pass inside the penalty box. With calm precision, Iniesta struck the ball past Dutch goalkeeper Martin Stekelenburg, scoring the winning goal. The stadium erupted as Spain finally secured their first World Cup trophy. Iniesta's goal was not only a moment of personal triumph but also a symbol of Spain's rise to football dominance in the early 21st century. Iniesta's celebration was heartfelt, as he dedicated the goal to the late Dani Jarque, a fellow footballer and close friend who had tragically passed away earlier that year. That goal remains one of the most iconic in football history, a reminder of how skill, patience, and belief can bring a nation its greatest glory.